Hello, everyone. It's me. I'm the creative one. Now, I'm having some shortness of breath today. Actually, it's been happening for a while. However, that's not going to stop the show, for we must learn what we need in order to make sure nobody's, playing in our face, messing with the biscuit. You know what I'm saying? So, this is a very important topic. Very important. So let's jump in and get it started. Please share this information. You never know how many people videos like this can touch. Never know. Ready?
That was awesome. Guys, let's jump in. Okay, you ready? Okay, I'm going to post that email, by the way, so that you can lay your eyes upon it yourself. Okay, divide and conquer personalities. Man, these people, ugh, God, I've had divide and conquer personalities, guys.
Me too.
I have had divide and conquer personalities in my family, in my friend groups growing up, in my adult work environments before I became a private practice practitioner. I have seen divide and conquer personalities on online platforms. I have seen divide and conquer personalities in my past work environments where I've provided group therapy. I've seen it in classrooms where I provide education. I've seen it in environments where I'm providing workshops or conferences. And I also see it in family therapy sessions where I'm providing family therapy. Divide and conquer personalities are, can I say, in a legitimate way, they are evil. And some people feel like there's no such thing as evil. Yes, there is. I feel that there's darkness at the core of a personality that is a divide and conquer personality, because there is often control seeking. And this is what the research says. There's control seeking. There's emotion regulation with external chaos, meaning they can't regulate themselves. They can't regulate their emotions, right? They can't regulate their anger, their self-hatred. They can't regulate how they feel about themselves. They can't regulate their own emotional injuries. Maybe somebody put up a boundary. Maybe somebody said, I don't want you. I'm not interested. I don't want you a part of this. Maybe somebody said, I'm going to contact with you. Maybe it was you.
Welcome.
Maybe you said to your mother. Maybe you said to your father, I don't want anything to do with you. Maybe you blocked their phone number, right? Maybe you stopped talking to them. Maybe it was a coworker. Maybe it was a boss. You said, you know what? I want nothing to do with you. Yeah. That's your right, right? You have the ability as a freely thinking human being with personal rights, freedoms, and space to say no.
I had to pause it right there. Welcome, EB. It's good to see you, my man. We talking about that good old or bad old divide and conquer mentality. Now, see, for me, it's a lot of that in my family on both sides. And respectfully, I've experienced it recently when it comes to new relationships. Yeah. When you have someone that cannot emotionally regulate themselves, they have to find a way to do that. Usually, in my experience, and a bit of the research that I've been doing, the people that struggle in the family or in the friendship or in any kind of relationship when it comes to like their mental health in certain ways. So like, for instance, I'll use myself as an ADHDer and not knowing that I was that. Also high energy, you know what I mean? And unfortunately for me, I didn't understand manipulation as a child. Born authentic and honest and stuck being that way. I'm not saying I'm complaining. I'm just saying at times it put me at a disadvantage growing up, because you have some people where, depending on the month they're born, you know, their zodiac, astrology, I'm not sure if you're into that, there's some truth there. So for me, I tend to keep an open mind. Forgive my voice. I have shortness of breath right now, so my energy is a little less than what y'all probably used to. But I'm still going to do this because it's a lot of work I've done to get to where I am right now. It's been a lot of unjust behavior. There's been a lot of gossip, and it baffles me. It's mind blowing to me how many people or family members want to have conversations about me and what I'm doing, have yet to reach out. Now, keep in mind, I started all of this for family reasons, of course. You know, I wasn't on social media, not like this, until 2023. Once I became more intentional about my mental health, my overall health, self-actualization. Please pardon the voice. I'm going to be going to the hospital later because I really struggle breathing. I'm not quite sure what it is. It could be a lot of things, especially when it comes to my trauma. I suffer with panic attacks. And that's one of the things that I've been working on in my journey. I didn't realize that as a child I learned how to mask. It's something that a lot of ADHDers wind up doing. It's in the research. Because of our unique way of showing up and some of our challenges, we wind up being socially rejected. And then being as though we have our nervous systems. Oh my God. That's a whole nother life. But it's very difficult to navigate emotions with the type of nervous system that I have and people like me have. We're often misunderstood. We're often judged. And this happens earlier on before we get to learn who we actually are. We wind up masking and people pleasing just by default because of our extreme way we experience emotions, especially the negative ones, like rejection in someone with ADHD versus someone without it. That's a big difference emotionally. Do the research. So for me, I didn't realize I was masking. I didn't, going back in time, these things weren't normalized or talked about, especially when it comes to ADHD and women and girls. That was the unjust right there. That was unjust bad for any woman or girl out there. You're not alone, baby. You understand me? Don't you let them make you feel any way you don't want to feel. You are not less than. There's a lot of gold we carried around. Sure, we got our faults. This is not about perfection now. We all are imperfect. But given the proper chance to thrive, ADHDers, we really make the world go round. You got to peep game on how much of the entertainment industry is run by us. Come on now. So when it comes to this stuff she's talking about, I was a victim of this extremely. Oh my God. The divide and conquer is real. Talk about survival of the fittest. In my family, and I'm sure other people can relate, there are practices that we teach ourselves or learn behaviors to get what we want, to get a result that we want to see. And sometimes we tap into darkness to do that. We might be copying someone that we seen got a result. Like, I want to get that result. But we not worrying about if it's toxic. Was that negative? Is that an unhealthy way to... You got kids adapting to certain behavior they're watching from people in the family. And see, when it comes to checking behavior, number one, my personal opinion. Oh, Lord. You can't check someone else's behavior and you haven't checked your behavior. That's not how it works. You could try. Good luck on that. It's not how it works. It's called accountability. Once we learn accountability with the self, once we learn self, like we're going for self-actualization, trying to really develop who we are, understand why we do what we do, why we tick the way we tick, why we what. We have to get to a point where we're centered and we know exactly who we are, how we are, when we are, why we are. When we achieve that, everyone else is cake. You can't understand what you're looking at if you don't even know who you are. You have to make it make sense. This is why it's important to unpack your trauma. You may be going around here masking yourself, or you may be misrepresenting yourself. Let's say you had an incident in childhood, molestation, and it caused you great shame. Now you want to hide that part of yourself by behaving a way that is not like you because you're trying to hide your own shame. So now you're acting out of character. Now there's certain things we tend to do to camouflage. And a lot of it starts as children. And this is the problem. Some of the adults, I'll speak for my family, some of the adults in my family had really tough lives. And I mean really tough lives. We talking, it's like that. The saddest stories I've ever heard are some of the most important people in my life, or, some of my family members. And they have learned how to navigate the world in ways that I guess you could say came out of those behaviors they created as a child to survive their hardships that really wasn't their fault a lot of the time. And the problem became that they never got to a point where they challenged their behavior themselves. You got to take a good long look in the mirror at oneself and say, does this behavior serve me anymore? And if it does, what is it serving? Good or bad? These questions are important. If you're not interested in knowing how you show up, don't wonder why people start backing away from you. Don't wonder why you went from a big circle to a small one. If you're the one that keeps changing in a group, let's say for instance this year you got 10 friends, y'all thriving. Now 6 months go by, that 10 turned into 6. 4 months go by, that 6 turned into 4. And you like, what the, what I'm saying? I ain't got time for this. And then you go meet more people. That doesn't last. You have to get to a point where you got to stop blaming everyone else and simply say, maybe I'm the problem. This is what I had to do with myself. Not for those same reasons, but because I didn't feel respected by a lot of my family members. And I didn't understand why, really. So in my journey, I wanted to make it public. because I went to family, and a lot of family have helped me. I'll give shout outs to those people in time, but some family has helped me and tried their best. But what I had to learn is when you go outward for help, when you reach out to other people, they're going to give you their best. Think about that. Someone else's best may not be good enough for you. What if they're just getting by, just scraping by on the little bits and pieces they know? That's all they really can offer. What are we out here really doing then? We got to learn to become our own savior. We have to learn to become our own help. Tap into our divinity. Tap into the divine. Become one with God. Find ways to increase our knowledge on what we must know. And stop going outward all the time with the codependent behavior. It's going to be very difficult to excel when you got to lean on everybody for everything. Let's get back into it because she really breaks it down. I love this woman.
You're not tied to anybody, right? You have the ability to say, no, absolutely no. So maybe you said that to somebody, right? You have that right, even if it's your family. You're not tied to anybody. Maybe you exercise that, and they can't take that. That's not your problem. That's theirs, right? Maybe what we call a narcissistic injury or a threat injury, they can't handle that. So what do? They try a divide and conquer move. Well, I'm going to get into your life and try to divide and conquer. I'm going to try to take over. I'm going to try to hurt you now. That's not fair.
Nope.
That's not right. Right?
Nope.
So these kind of personalities, they may try emotion regulation with external chaos. I'm going to try to regulate how I'm feeling right now. And I'm going to do that by causing chaos in your life. I'm going to try to cause chaos in your life.
Right.
And how do I do that?
Right.
We're gonna talk about that in just a minute. They insert themselves into your life. That's how they cause chaos. And that's a very ugly thing that they do. Yes, we're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Yes,
but
it is.
They also have insecurities that makes them a divide and conquer personality.
Girl.
You know? Hi, Sarah Ann. I see you there. Welcome to tonight's live chat. It's so good to see you. A and B, good to see you as well. Maria Life Animal. Hello, my friend. It's good to see you.
Thank you, EB.
Good to see you. Just saying hello to you because I saw you going by the corner of my eye. Bella Singleton, good to see you as well, my friend. No is a complete sentence. Absolutely. I like that a lot. It is a complete sentence. Yep.
What I love about her is when she does her lives, she has a full community. She's got quite a few subscribers on YouTube if you check her out. The community engages with her. And you can learn off of them. It's I guess you could say her channel helped me feel more human because I have been massively invalidated by some of my closest relationships because I've been misunderstood. And I had to learn what I wasn't allowed to acknowledge by my abuser. You know, because if I learn a part of myself is attached to someone that has done me an unjust and they don't want their business out. So me staying dumbed down, quiet, protects their ego, their image, even if it's a fake one. Bye, Felicia, on that. I wish I would have known that's what I was doing. I would have simply stopped. But back then, boy, oh, yo, I was pretty much a remote control. At least that's how he had me. I just wish I would have known better. And I do want to speak on something, especially if it's any of my family members that's watching this live. Let's set the record straight. I reached out to my father. Because a lot of this content, a lot of the abuse that I talk about that I went through was at that man's hand. Yes, he was a substance abuse user. Yes, he was an alcoholic. But it's a certain level to, I guess you could say, rejection and abuse and just being in denial that gets to where, no, I'm done. I'm done. You might not be. I'm done. I reached out to him as my therapist, psychosocial therapist, instructed me to, because he seen that I wanted my father's love and approval so badly. I reached out to him and let him know what I was learning in therapy about myself. And as I broke down, which was very embarrassing, I'm not someone that cries easily. And that's not intentional. But I was crying like a baby in that office because he was helping me find memories that I really forgot. And as he walked me through them, it was traumatizing. I had a full-blown panic attack in there. But he told me, reach out to your father, let him know what you're learning about yourself. Give him an opportunity to do it over the right way. It's simply up to him. So I gave my father a nice lengthy text message, which I still have, letting him know respectfully where I am, what I'm learning about myself, and what, most importantly, I learned he's done to me in secret. And I wanted to give him an opportunity to restart, rebuild the foundation, because our relationship was a trauma bond. I didn't know it then, but I know it now. He wasn't interested. So what I'm supposed to do, wait around, base my healing on if he's interested in being a better father? I mean, I'm grown now, but we could have still had some type of relationship. But unfortunately, that's not an option for me. I have to talk to other people just to hear a softer side of my father that he has refused to show me. And even then, I have certain family members that tend to want to be mortified I'm taking this public. This is not a smear campaign that I'm doing. This is not gossip. This is educational. My pain can help wake someone else up. I done raised my children. You understand what I'm saying? We coming down to empty nester at this point. And I'm ready to teach the world now. I've acquired quite a bit of skills, and knowledge is to be shared. Knowledge is useless unless it's applied. And just because it's a lot of people that have buried bones and secrets doesn't mean it's my job to keep your secrets. If they affected me, it's finna be talked about. You better take it up with God and get the wedgie out. It's bigger than just you. Everything ain't about just you. You understand what I'm saying? We affect other people in this world. You understand? You understand? Is a relationship has affected you negatively, you owe it to yourself to unpack that and heal in any way that you feel is appropriate. It is not your job to be keeping secrets. And I'm tired of people that like to divide and conquer. This is not all just narcissists that do that. You know, it's some really strong personalities out there that, you know, just have that ability to be able to navigate in a manipulative way. And they will defend it because that's their strength. So, I mean, I understand it. But stop. Don't try and explain to me how manipulation is good. There's plenty ways to communicate with someone without having to manipulate them. You take people's choice away when you do that. And what kind of a person would want to take your choice away if they're being positive? You got to learn to question the narrative, question the behavior. Don't let people keep telling you like I did, because I didn't know any better at the time. People have been telling me who I am, telling me how I am all my life. And I just listened and believed it. I didn't have a sense of self-worth. I didn't have individuality. I literally was living for my family members. And I learned to do that. Sorry to mention it again, Pop. at Miss Jerry's house. You caused me to have an emotional incest situation there. Well, not incest in the sense of sexual intercourse, but emotional incest. It was a role reversal at that house where I lost who I could have been because I had to be a mother figure to my sibling who was being molested. And I'm about to keep it secret so you can stay safe and protected. Get over it. It was years ago. Now we got to unpack the damage. And I'm not going to stay broken, sick, and unhealthy because you mad. Sound personal. You could have reached out and talked to me when I was offering it. But now you got to deal with these videos. Deal with it. You know what you can do though? Call a family meeting. Make sure you tell everyone that has emotional reactive problems, you can't come. I'm not here to collect adults emotionally. If you don't know how to regulate yourself, the door is that way. Respectfully. I raised children already. I'm not about to raise adults because you don't know what to do with your emotions. See, this is the problem. I feel like that is the main reason why nobody reaching out to me in the first place. Get your emotions together and stop putting it on everybody else to regulate you. I had some similar issues when it comes to some other people when it comes to that. I'm just tired of watching people that come from families and they're like, that divide and conquer. You setting people up for failure. You come, bring gifts. No one asked for. That's your power though. Here, I just wanted to drop some groceries off. Oh, here, did you need help? You want me to watch the kids? This, and that. But that gives you a way to have control, to get a peek behind the curtain. That way you can have something to gossip about, talk behind the back, all these smear campaigns, keeping drama going because that's how you thrive. If you don't get out of here with that, and you don't want me to talk about it because that's your livelihood, again, that sounds personal. If it affects me and mine, I'm finna talk about it. That's just where I am. So, we're going to get back to the video. But I do want to say something else. Leave my brother alone. James Birch III. Much respect. Love that man. Very impressed by that man. That man is doing his thing. Getting his mind right. Moving at his own speed. People are burdening him with questions about me. I'm right here. Why you going to him? Let's talk. Leave him out of it. My brother don't have nothing to do with these videos I'm making. I'm right here for the 10,000th time. Quit going to elemental P, her, him, and them when I'm waiting for somebody to reach out to me. Does it make sense? Come on now. Let's get back to it.
Totally like that. No. I love that. Another thing that they constantly grapple with within themselves as a divide and conquer personality is fear of exclusion. They don't like to be excluded.
No, they don't.
They don't like to be excluded. So you box them out of something, right? You exclude them and they go haywire. You know, it's like striking a match and throwing it on gasoline. They get upset. They get upset. Oh, no way. You didn't just box me out of something. You know, divide and conquer personalities don't like that. They believe they belong. They believe they belong. And when they believe they belong, you better not cut them out of something.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
They have this sense of, this is what research highlights the most. They have this sense of interpersonal dominance that I always have to be up here, right? I cannot be in the middle, and I cannot be at the bottom.
Right.
And so the only way that I know how to stay at the top, right? The only way I know how to stay at the top is to divide and conquer.
Right.
The only way I know how to stay on top of everything is to divide and conquer. And the way that I know how to divide and conquer is to insert myself into people's lives in a sneaky way, in a slow way, in a maneuvered way, and in a way that's not going to get me caught. Because if I get caught, then I can't operate in the way that I need to operate. So how in the world do they get in without being caught? Right? How in the world do they get in without being caught? They have to have a series of maneuvered behaviors, right?
Yeah.
And they have to build trust first. They have to have a slow, steady, believable process that they engage in, so they can divide and conquer. And that is really sad. A lot of you are probably thinking, I'm gonna answer DC Karuga here in a second. A lot of people, and you're probably thinking this, sneaky family members, manipulative family members, you're probably thinking some co-workers, maybe a boss, maybe you're also thinking step parents, right? Stepmother, stepfather, maybe a sneaky sibling, right? DC Karuga says a bully mindset, 100%, definitely a bully mindset. Oh yeah, bullies have a fear of exclusion. They don't want to be pushed to the side. They don't want to be told they're not allowed to do anything.
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
No way. They also don't want to feel like they're at the bottom, right? So they have this sense of interpersonal dominance. You're not going to tell me what I can and cannot do. You're also not going to tell me no. You're not going to set a boundary. And you're also not going to exclude me. So all of those things doesn't belong to me.
Had to speak on that one. She said, they definitely keep you from setting boundaries. Pay attention to people when you tell them something bothers you and this is what you want to put in place. If they constantly question it, try to get you to drop it. Don't put the boundary up. You're doing too much. Why would you? You might want to pay attention to that relationship, because I had a relationship like that. And a lot of the times, my father was the influence of this behavior. So, unfortunately, it was a learned behavior. So, if me and my sibling are disrespecting each other's boundaries, and we did, it went both ways. Like my sibling, I'll use something light. When she was in my life, she asked me not to play like scary movies around her kids. I would play scary movies for my kids. And a lot of times they go up there and want to watch it, and I just let them. I didn't think it was that bad, and vice versa. See, that was disrespectful of me. But when you grow up with a father that's an addict and a substance abuse user, and you can't set boundaries, and you watch that behavior become normalized, it becomes mindset. You mindlessly practice these things. And then he was just a overall problem. He really was. And a lot of the times it's heartbreaking for me, because I love my father, and I know that he comes from some type of brokenness within himself. We're all people really trying to do the best we can. And when I hear someone that's a substance abuse user or alcoholic, I hear someone that's trying to numb pain that hurts. I hear someone that's trying to not feel the way they want it, the way that they're feeling. They want to change it using this substance. Running from something. There's something there. So, I know he had some stuff he probably could benefit off going to treatment for. But unfortunately, toxic masculinity winds up grabbing up a lot of our sons. There, I said it. Grabbed up my son, my only son. You get them streets, introducing substance to your babies, your sons. And then you got other unhealthy males, broken men, that come from broken families that have no father, or the father was abusive, or the father was a soldier and he came back with PTSD and he was beaten and he was militant, no compassion. He doesn't think vulnerability is a strength. He thinks it's a weakness. So now his son, he looking at him, he's vulnerable. He calling him the P word. Quit being a B. Man up. When really, vulnerability is the true strength. You got men out here with injuries thinking fear is respect. And my family members have that problem. My father used to intimidate me all the time. My soul constantly leaving my body. I just stand there militant, scared, while he headbutting me as discipline, choking me as discipline, and I just didn't react. So I wound up learning how to internalize. I never knew how to release my emotions because this is how my father disciplined me. And out of all my siblings, I was mishandled the most when it comes to physical aggression. They got it too, but nowhere near what I got. So I didn't realize how many issues he had, and then he gifted it to me, all from toxic masculinity. He didn't know how to unpack his emotions. It would have been no way he would have been drinking alcohol and smoking all this crack and all this. He wouldn't have been doing all that if he was thriving emotionally, know how to regulate, know how to be vulnerable, know it's healthy. That ain't how it works. And who you got out here that's setting the record straight? Who in the family is really doing the work of 302ing? But 302 ain't just supposed to be a phone call. 302 looks like a phone call, looks like a visit, looks like support, looks like you need a place to stay, looks like a check-in. See, a lot of folks ain't doing all that. They just 302 you and make you the problem of the system. No, get the family involved. Nobody is doing it in a way that it should be done or could be done. But everybody got everything to say about the behavior. What are you doing to contribute? What are you doing to help? Other than running your mouth? Other than smear campaigns? Gossiping the family members? Why don't you stop running your mouth so much and pick up a book? Let's research. Let's figure out, okay, we don't have a solution. But it's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Do you know how many people must be insane in my family then? The same thing is repeated over and over, and everybody like, why it ain't working? Listen, listen, Linda. Here, this is why it ain't working. Because you ain't changed it yet. You ain't found something different. You're not walking out on faith. You got to get up all in that selflessly. And people, we're spiritual. Most of us, we could tell when someone means us harm. We could tell when someone means us good. You could feel it. But some traumas remove us from our feelings. Teach us don't trust them. Don't trust your feelings. So it's so much damage within the community. It's just really ugly when we can't come together as a community or a family to help give support to those that struggle with mental health. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that do the best they can, but it shouldn't be left on one person. And my family is one person that everybody be going to. She ain't a superhero. What the hell? Is one woman. What the hell? I mean, I even went to this woman, but not to the extent to take so much. I don't watch her be taken from so much and it not put back. I'm not going to call you out, but you know who you are, auntie. Take that cape off. I'm glad you actually start putting yourself more first. Because I can't watch that. That's why I don't be around like that. Because I'm not trying to visit you to just get stuff. You know what I mean? I'd rather have brunch with you. Check in emotionally. Plan a trip. Every once in a while, you'll offer me something. I love your gifts and everything, but it's not a necessity. I don't need a gift to have you in my life. And sometimes that be the vibe. I'm over that. I always really been over it. I'm not really that materialistic. I'm into deep, meaningful connections. So when I see shallow, I move different. I always have. I just didn't know what it was called. You know what I mean? Let's get back to it.
So I'm going to be up here at all times. I call the shots in a relationship, right? So that's a bully mindset. You also say they like causing chaos. Yeah, 100%. Makes them feel like they're in control.
Yes, it do.
Yeah.
Commercial break, people. She hit the head right on the nail. They like causing chaos. Oh my God. We talking about, I still haven't had the sit down I want to have with one of my siblings, But I have to respect her wishes. She was done with me. Everything about me, it seemed, was annoying her the last time we spoke. So I didn't chase after her, because that's what I do. You know, going back in time, if my family was displeased with my performance, and yes, I was performing, and they threatened, oh, I'm done, I'd always chase. No, I'm here. What you need? This, and that. Just exploiting my weaknesses like a mug, right? I'd go chase. So this time, I changed that. I let her go. I've been estranged from this sibling for it's definitely got to been over a year, 2 years now, or coming up on 2 years. And what I have learned, I don't like. I've learned that she's been doing things when it comes to my children that's very distasteful. I don't do this with her children. And I have a very close relationship with her children, my nieces and nephews. Oh, but we finna talk about it. Because before I came on this, she was already thriving on social media. She put everything on there. I mean, everything. Which is her business. Teach her, I ain't trying to tell nobody how they should be using the social media platform. But when it comes to our children, it's certain things that I just have I won't tolerate. Like, I don't like that you took my 19-year-old out to the club buying her alcohol. And you know she's ADHD-er. You know she was on medication. Why would you do that? I've been confided in you about certain things when it comes to her troubled childhood. And then that's what you do with her? And she's not like she was 21. And it just keeps going on and on and on. Like, trashing me to my kids. Then you're going to call our other sibling to get her to... Like, you just doing a lot out in these streets. And then justifying it in certain ways that are just completely toxic. And my heart really goes out to you. Because I know what you won't remember. You're mad at the wrong parent. A lot of your anger is to our mom. Ooh, they're there. They're there, Cupcake. Was Mom there at Miss Jerry's house when that little boy was off the hook, coming and climbing in that bed with us while Dad was getting cheeks? Was Mom in there? Remember when I was at the table? I was trying to talk to you about it. You remember? You remember how you shut down on me? You remember? You don't, do you? Oh, they're there. I remember. In fact, I can't forget it. Because guess who was protecting you all night? Guess who took the molestation so you wouldn't have to? Never thanked me for that. You was young. You know what I'm saying? I was born 84, you born 88. So I was like, what, 7? So you can only imagine how old you were. And I just recently let Mom know. I let her know. She didn't even know that happened to you. Did you know that? Did you know back when we were talking? When I told you I'm going to change things. I told you I was going to do this. Remember how you tried to talk me out of it? You couldn't see it. Here I am, baby. We won't right these wrongs. Some of it, you was a victim. And until you learn that, you're going to consistently repeat history on your own self, playing the same record because you don't have new material. You ain't facing what the trauma was. Remember it. Don't run from that pain, because that pain, your strength is buried in it. Learn to walk through difficulties. Pressure makes diamonds, not hugs. The comedian said that. I love it. You can't. You have to walk in to what you are afraid of. Because who you going to walk out as, baby? Greatness waits on the other end. But really figure out why you're angry. Because you're angry at the wrong people. I promise you that. Let's get back into it.
That's correct. All of that is correct. Cookie Monster Trader gives it a term I wouldn't want to professionally use, but you can definitely use it because I agree. I agree. They can be. They can be. They slither around until they get what they want.
Thank you, EB, baby.
They do. Here's the definition. Cookie Monster calls them snakes. Here's the definition. You ready for the clinical definition? Because I'm going to give it to you. You ready?
Give it to us. Sure.
Cam Goes Camping. It's so good to see you. So good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to tonight's live chat. Welcome to tonight's live chat. Here's the definition, Cookie Monster Trader. Okay. So the conquer and divide personality. Someone who, I gotta break this down. Someone who maintains power, control, and attention. So someone who maintains power, control, attention, and psychological advantage. Okay, so someone who maintains power, control, attention, and psychological advantage.
Yeah.
By creating separation, conflict, mistrust, or competition. I'm breaking it down. Between other people. Okay? They secretly manipulate relationships.
Yeah. Had to speak on it. This is just, I am such a victim of this. And I know a lot of people that have done it. I didn't realize that I was a magnet for these type of people. Unfortunately, I've even had a situation with my father-in-law when it comes to this type of stuff. And I'm so sick to death with people trying to shut me up to protect people that are problematic. Why are we doing that? I understand people feel like someone won't be accountable. Sometimes you don't need accountability. Sometimes you need to just set the record straight, respectfully. A lot of people are going to say what they're going to say. They're going to feel how they're going to feel. It is not my job to coddle and protect and silence and mute myself for the sake of, I don't want to hear his mouth. I don't care about his mouth or her mouth. I care about justice. And I care about seeing something different. Until we learn how to walk into a little difficulty, you know what I'm saying? Walk into the struggle. Walk into the pain to get to the other side. That's where we need to get. There's no way to get there without feeling it. Quit trying to protect yourselves from feeling it. The key is to learn emotional regulation. Get your emotional intelligence up. Start researching. We all on the social media all day, any daggone way. Quit lying. You know you be swiping. Why don't you use that same finger and start tapping into certain information to get yourself some type of an advantage? Buy a book and a pencil. Start journaling. Start challenging behavior. Start with yourself. Once you start unpacking stuff in yourself and holding yourself accountable, you will just innately not be able to tolerate other people's bullcrap because you don't make excuses for yourself. Oh, I hold myself accountable. What make you think I'm going to sit here and protect you? That ain't how it work. We running from the solutions. Everybody has to check themselves, including me. But I don't have that problem. I check myself. I do it so much sometimes people are uncomfortable. And it's not to the point of self-sabotage. It's just some people are still trying to stay safe because of fear. Maybe their health. Because they don't know how to regulate. Because they have panic attacks like I have. I'm sitting here wheezing right now. You think I'm a coward? Go hide in the corner? Hell no. I'm finna talk about it. If I drop dead, I had a purpose. And I'm seeing it out. I'm not leading with fear. I ain't finna be scared of nothing or no one. And if it's my time to go, bye-bye. It's my time to go. We have to learn how to look at death differently too. Stop letting the media and family members and friends and whatever scare you up. Once we start moving more intentionally, you're going to start seeing a new world. There's too many cowards. There's too many people that's trying to stay safe. There's too many people going outward when they should be going inward. There's too much gossip. Quit running your mouth unless you're going to call a meeting so we can sit at the table and challenge that. If you ain't going to challenge it, shut up. Go over there. Talk to yourself. Quit gossiping. Don't run from the talk that is very important to have. People are in their own way. And I ain't gonna let you get in my way. But this is a problem in my family big time. And I'm calling for a family meeting. I want to have one. Because there's some of my family members that's my age. Some of us have been excused for some of our behaviors because some of the matriarchs or the people, before us are doing the same thing. So if I get checked, now you got to get checked because you do it too. And don't nobody want to get checked. See, it's too much going on dodging accountability. You can't check a behavior, call him out, but you can't call him out. So if it's a dad that did it and the son doing it, how you going to just call the son out and the dad do it too? Make it make sense. Get all this moist behavior up out of here. If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen, bruh. Get out the kitchen. Put the spatula down. Get your ass. Get on out of here. You can't handle the heat. You can't handle the truth. Get up out of here. You part of the problem, player. We need solution, folk. If you don't got solution, bye. Now finish hearing. She gonna break it down. And some of the questions, questions from the audience, they be on point. They be so validating. And I'd be like, oh my God, I ain't the only one out here. I knew I wasn't the only one. I just needed to find my folk. I need to find my audience. We all have an audience. You got to find yours.
They secretly manipulate relationships. That's the key word. They secretly manipulate relationships.
Yep.
So people become emotionally disconnected.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. That was done to me too. My mom was telling me all kind of stuff that people been telling her about me over the years. I'm like, what? That's crazy. Some true, some exaggerated to create a gap between me and her relationship. I don't know why people got beef with me and my mom being close. I wanted to be close with my pop too. He just don't mess with me. So stop coming to me. Ask that nigga why he don't mess with me. Maybe if he stopped calling me retarded all the time and sit and get to know me, he might mess around and realize what my mom say every day when I'm at work. God, you like your father. You are so much like your father. I'm so much like the man that then rejected the hell out of me. How'd that work? Let's get back into it.
That's the power. So here's the full definition. Someone who maintains power, control,
right,
attention, and psychological advantage by creating separation, conflict. It has to be conflict.
Yep.
There has to be separation.
Yep.
There has to be mistrust. There has to be competition between other people. They have to build that. And that takes time. I'm going to send this to the chat box. That takes time. Which means you can't just overnight conquer and divide. It takes time. So it's like this very slow, maneuvered, calculated process. And the person has to gain power, control, attention, and psychological advantage. It's trusted advantage. So it is sneaky.
Yes.
Because they literally create separation.
Yes, they do.
And conflict between people.
Yes,
and it's like building a muscle.
Yep.
It's like building a muscle. You know what? Tonight, it's like every night you go to the gym. Like every night around 10 p.m., I'm either at the gym or I'm in my downstairs basement exercising. And I know that at that time of night, that's exactly where I'm going to be. That is how a divide and conquer personality functions. Bella Singleton says, like a snake. Yes, we can go there. Yes, we can say that, Bella. Cookie Monster Trader says, analyze, infiltrate. Yeah, sabotage. There you go. 100%. Gary Bennett, I'm going to put your comment up on the screen. Welcome to tonight's live chat. Gary Bennett says, what about how they form of a group to collaborate and devise their deceitful plans? then carry it out. Once done, they divide and hide. Totally agree.
Yep.
Very well put.
Yep.
That is in here as well. That is in here as well.
Right.
We call that relational aggression. So
that is so true. I have been in the middle of quite a few different situations that involved my mother, where I was manipulated to disrespect her boundary. Of course, I was ignorant to the fact. I didn't understand boundaries, not the way that I needed to. So if my mom created a boundary and she said, no, listen, I don't accept this person's calls no more. I'm done with this person. And for whatever reason, they weren't done with her. They'll come to me and use me to go through her. Why you finna do that? I didn't realize that was disrespectful because my father did it. And I'm talking about while I was being raised. It was normalized. So I was blind. You know, and people can be so disrespectful when they come from trauma. But sometimes it's mindless. It's crazy. I swear it's crazy how it go. This is, I swear, it's so deep, y'all. You cannot just sum this up over just one live video. It is so deep. It is so deep, you would not believe it. But I have been coerced. I have been manipulated in ways where it was pulling on my empath, my Sigma empath. I'm feeling my heart going out to people. Like, one example, my sibling that I'm estranged with, and I hope she's doing well. My mother asked me to tell her, is it okay if she stopped past with her baby at the time, because she had just had a baby. And I let her know, and then she said, no, mom's not consistent, I'm not comfortable with that, yeah. Fine, respectful. I let mom know. Split two, why she pops up someday after that with the baby, knowing our mother doesn't do pop-ups. She's raised us like this. Now see, I've never gotten a key when I was younger, and I understand why my mom ain't give me a key, because I never really was good with time management. A lot of the times I would always sneak and be doing extra stuff, like if I had to go to the grocery store. A lot of the times I always, I guess, looked older than what I was, or because I was tall. A lot of times guys would beep horns or come over and talk, and I would easily just entertain it because I was looking for the what's it called, the attention. Pop, sorry, you wasn't doing it. So now I wasn't getting in cars driving off necessarily, but just entertaining it, the compliments. I got a shot of dopamine off of that. So a lot of the time I would wind up entertaining stuff like that. And when it came to my siblings, they would see that. And a lot of times I'd make us late coming home from the stores. I'd be trying to lie, horrible liar. And this is all because of my challenges with my father and him validating me and him making me feel loved, wanted. He did a horrible job with that. Horrible job. A lot of the times, good touch hurt. If he gave me a hug, he squoze me real hard. Shook my hand, squoze my fingers. Now I got contusions. You know, that was how he kind of showed his love. Really sociopathic, you know what I'm saying? And I have the ability to be that way. I have a very unique brain. I had to learn certain things about myself. And he really was tweaking me to be more of a sociopath. And this is the part of me that my younger sibling fell victim to. And see, she don't know that. So I would go confiding in her. And she was like, no, you was being a hoe. You was this. You, dad, had every reason to be. I'm like, and then I didn't realize why she was so invalidating at the time. But because she was the youngest. And she didn't even unpack her own trauma at Miss Jerry's house. She would just see things in a certain way. And she became codependent to me because I was protecting her. Because our pop wasn't. So a lot of times when I would, rest in peace, Miss Laura Harris, when I would go to my grandmom's house and spend the weekends, my mom would tell me that my younger sibling would a lot of times be crying. She had like a separation anxiety when I would leave. And to daytime, I know why that was. Because we had an emotionally inappropriate relationship where I was mothering her because our father had us in that damn house. Well, you want to talk about that? You want to talk to my brother? Call me, Pop. Let's talk about that. You want to talk about Miss Jerry house? Because every time I bring it up, you want to dumb me up. We got to unpack that, bruh. Just quit trying to skip shit. We have damage because of that. You got us out here looking a certain way, bruh, because of that. Unjust. Where's the defense? Mister, I'm all about my kids. Not that. No, you wasn't then. It was plenty times where you wasn't all about us. Quit playing. Let alone the tax returns you ain't bring home. Of course, I was a kid. I didn't know about tax returns. I remember just maybe like 2 different years. It was like a lot of money going on, and we actually did shopping. You know how many years of tax returns you done probably blew? See, I got to do it this way because don't nobody want to meet me at the grown folk table and sit down and talk and work through these difficult issues and feelings. Everybody is wanting to do what she's explaining. Divide and conquer. Make the family members your hand puppets because you ain't never learned how to man up. You ain't never learned how to run a household. You ain't never learned how to be vulnerable. You ain't never learned how to be accountable. You ain't never learned how to regulate your motherfucking self. So we have to be victims to your ignorance, to your traumas, to your immaturity. No more, buddy. So if you want to talk, let's talk about that first. You ain't about to skip all that because this accountability is coming for that ass. If you didn't want this, you should have did a better job. Because you think I did this to mine on my watch? Hell no. Go ask my kids who I was and how I showed up. Better yet, ask my nieces and nephews. Yeah, you got me messed up. You got me messed up. Ask them. Ask them who was Kanisha to her kids. Who was Kanisha to her man? Who was Kanisha to her sister? The babysitter? Happily. I was babysitting and offering to babysit so much my own man was getting tired of it because he wasn't getting enough time from me. Come for me. Come for me. I want you to. Because I put the work in. I put the time in. Run your mouth. If you want to talk, let's talk. See, this is why nobody want to reach out to me. Because I got bullets in this gun. And the gun of knowledge is the one I'm talking about. So if you want to talk, let's talk. But know who you talking to. Because it's a new damn day. And I'm a grown ass woman. So quit coming with that little kiki shit. She is gone, my man. I'm a grown ass woman. And these are some real issues. I ain't about to sit here and candy coat a damn thing. Because my life was the struggle, baby. I had to fight for mine. And I'm going to keep doing these videos. Because last time I checked, the world a hot damn mess. And don't nobody need to be buttered up. You need to hear that shit the way it's happening. Excuse my French, but the hood is coming out. I'm tired of it. Like, I'm tired of the bullshit. I really am. I so tired of the bullshit. Like, for real. Because I'll put all my shit bare. But the question is, you want me to put yours bare? You want me to talk about what I know about you? Do you really? So be careful. Be very careful. And that's not a threat. It's a promise. We need to have this talk. We need to have this talk. And the world can learn off of this. There's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. Huh? And she dropping serious gold. Let's get back into it.
Gary Bennett, relational aggression. It's when you engage in.
Tell them, girl.
Getting other people involved.
That part.
Pulling other people into the dynamic.
Ooh.
Spreading rumors. Okay? So spreading rumors. Right? Name dropping. Trying to recruit other people.
Oh my God, I had to pause it again. Oh, Jesus, my voice, man. Oh, I'm having shortness of breath right now, y'all. Give me a second. When she said that word recruit, oh my God, my mom be on point. She was, she would say that for years. She was like, first of all, I don't do recruit. You ain't about to recruit me. I'm like, what's up, my mom recruit? Ain't nobody coming no application process. This one I was ignorant, of course. My mom, Capricorns, boy, they something special. Hey, it's not here for the bull crap. They set a boundary on your behind real quick. You could be into astrology or not. line up a bunch of Capricorns and piss them off and see what happens. But when she said recruit, that is so true. It's almost like an invisible application process. That narcissistic and these type of personalities that divide and conquer, it's like that's what they do. They sit down, they have this long, detailed conversation with you. Like you talking for hours with them. They making sure they learn as much as they need to so that they know how to manipulate you and place you for their use. Like, what the heck? And this has happened to me more than it hasn't. Boy, was I ignorant. It's embarrassing a little bit. But y'all got to beware. Sometimes you feel like it's a genuine connection. You going through an application process, my friend. They looking at what they can get from you without you knowing it. What you can bring to their life without you knowing it. Like, and at the end of the day, it's about control. Like, what the hell? Whatever happened to free will? Whatever happened to let me pick you? What's with this control crap? Listen, please believe me. Let's get back into it.
Popping in and dropping names, right? Yeah. Trying to create some kind of emotional chaos.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Emotional chaos.
Another tactic of relational aggression is you got yourself in trouble by acting a fool. Mm-hmm. And now you've been X'd out of the equation.
Yep.
And now what you do is try to somehow create this image that you are the innocent one. Whoa. And everybody else is the problem.
Oh, shit.
So,
girl, you gotta shut up. Do you hear what she just said? One of my family members accused me of walking on eggshells for my mom. One of my family members said, stop playing the victim. This is all while I was ignorant. I know y'all probably gonna come from like, how you don't know what that? I promise I ain't know what shit mean, y'all. I cannot make this level of ignorance up. It really is a thing. And I didn't understand it. I understand it now, but oh my God, when I tell you the manipulation, because certain family members seen my talents, they seen my loyalties, and they wanted to harness that for themselves, their own personal use in different ways. You know what I mean? Some of it might have been genuine. Oh, but you know it was some sinister agenda mixed in with that. And I'm ignorant to it. But that is so true. You better pay attention to what she's telling you. I'm telling you, you probably got somebody in your circle right now that's doing this to you. I promise you. You pay enough attention and you'll be able to see without looking. You got to give yourself an advantage. Your abusers don't want you to know this knowledge. They want you right where you at, easily manipulated. Because as long as you serve them, they good. And you ain't. You losing more than you giving. You deserve a give and take relationship. You give a little, you take a little. You got people out here that's ciphering ounces, gallons, and you getting specks back. If that. I'm trying to tell you, stop letting them play in your face. You know, this information ain't for everybody. Oh, everybody ain't gonna be able to receive this. And that's cool. That's cool. The people that's supposed to get this message, that's who I'm doing it for. Everybody else, it was nice meeting you. Let's get back to it.
What do you do to make everybody else look like they're the problem?
Yep.
You go around, you spread rumors.
Oh my.
Right? You talk about them over there. They've all treated you wrong.
Right.
Everybody else is the devil over there because everybody has treated you wrong.
Right.
You're the innocent one.
Right.
And while you're looking at everybody over there saying, they all mistreated me, I'm the innocent one, you're name dropping, you're spreading rumors, you're trying to make it look like something bad has happened to you by those people over there. It's relational aggression. Because now you are kind of turning people against all of those group of people over there.
Right.
With your exaggerated response to a boundary.
Right.
right? So turning other people against other people.
Right.
With exaggerated responses. It's relational aggression. I can't stand what has happened to me. So I'm going to make everybody over there look like it's their fault. Right? So I'm going to exaggerate my emotions.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to make it look like all of those people over there mistreated me.
Yeah.
I'm going to spread rumors.
Yeah.
I'm going to recruit people to go against all those people over there.
Yep.
Because I can't stand where I'm at. And so I'm going to turn people against those people over there.
Yep.
Relational aggression. It's ugly. One last thing with the relational aggression, Gary Bennett, is silent treatment.
Oh my God.
Silent treatment.
Silent treatment worked on me like gold back in the day. That was how a couple of my relatives would control me. It's like I freaked out. Like I needed that back and forth. Like, why you ain't saying nothing? Like, not no more though. But it's a control aspect. So pay attention to silent treatment. Not to be mistaken with less is more. Because sometimes when you're around a grandiose personality, someone that's this big, but they're really this small, they're energy vampires. And in order for you to survive that energetically, you have to become less. Not the same as silent treatment. That winds up becoming protective behavior when you're around people that are takers. You have to know it when you feel it. Sometimes it ain't for your eyes to see. It's for your energy to feel. We have divine knowing. A lot of times it gets disturbed by trauma, often childhood trauma. Before we can become and grow into who we supposed to, we get hijacked by lifing, or just predators preying. And that uproots us from learning getting to our self-actualization points, really getting that self-awareness in. It gets interrupted in childhood, let alone your sexuality. How many people you know have been molested and now they're gay? How many people you know have been molested and now they're lesbian? Happened to me. A lot of times I never really felt like a girl, so to speak. It was easier for me to play like a tomboy. That felt more normal than being feminine. And it took me forever to understand why. Thanks to my therapist and a little research. It's because my father had trouble with femininity. In some aspects, in some ways, he mistook femininity for being a whore. There, I said it. It's because whenever I would be ladylike, now he's for the crossing your legs. Matter of fact, you get slapped if you sit with your legs open around my father. So cross your legs, that's cool. But it's a certain feminine energy that I would possess if he wasn't having it. So I noticed when I would be more athletic or like mock him, wear his suspenders, act like a dude, not wear lip gloss, he didn't bother me as much. So can you see where I start losing myself in that? Now I'm walking around and I'm watching him looking at women, so I'm looking at women, copying and modeling my father. He didn't correct this behavior. So a lot of the times, I used to think I was interested in girls. See, this is where the injuries start happening. When you don't have a healthy parent, the damage is humongous. And then when you got nobody that's setting the record straight, no one calling the parent out in a way that is going to help. We're not talking about calling them out so you can start a fight and be arguing. No. We're not talking about ratchet Jerry Springer nonsense. We're talking about being intentional and being effective. It's so much stuff that I have seen, that I have experienced that was horrible. And I did not know to tell. And that is what I want to stop in families. So people have fighting chances to grow up. Not having to be called whores. Not having to be called out of their name. Because I was called that all the time. Even by certain siblings. And then they learned it off my father. Because he was the one that started it. And this is the same man certain family members is protecting. as he withers away with no accountability. And everyone wants to think he won't be accountable, so they don't even get anything started. Not me. Let me see him at the family reunion this year. We're going to have a sit down. You going to listen, Pop. You going to listen. Because I hear you reaching out. Apparently is reaching out. You trying to get in touch with me. But I had to block you, bruh. I'm going to do the side. I ain't going to do you like they do today. Screenshot your text messages and post them. But you know what you said. You do a lot out in these streets, bruh. You are just, you're toxic. I don't know no good other word to use it. You're toxic and you're codependent. And I pray for you so much. I really do. I pray for you almost all the time. I almost feel like you're clueless to who you actually are, how you actually show up. Because don't no one have the courage to sit you down and tell you the truth. I'd do it. But I didn't do it back in the day. You like punching me in the mouth too much. I'm cool. I need my teeth. So now that you're a little older, look a little too thin to win. Maybe I'm safe from you, trying to hit me all the time. Maybe we can actually talk now. And go ahead and say I ain't tried to reach out before. I tried to talk to you so many times. You're so emotionally reactive, just like what she's describing. I can't get a word in. And then you want to talk. You talking about 10 different chapters at once. I don't even know the subject anymore. It's confusing to talk to you. It's almost like talking to 6 people at the same time, and they're talking about different things, and I'm listening at all of them. But I'm only talking to you. That's what it's like talking to you. I'm going cross-eyed in this joint. I don't know. I can't follow it. I'm struggling. It's cringe. Because you're my father. I mean, I want to respect you. You're just not giving me much to respect. So what I'm giving you is what God said I must, because you're my father. You haven't earned it, though. I would like to give you an opportunity to earn it. But realistically, I know you don't care, because you have the injury that a lot of broken men have. You mistake fear for respect. So that's why whenever you looked at me, I was horrified, and you thought I respect you. No, you just scared me away. Way to go. Way to go. Way to bond with your daughter that seems to be just like you. Surprise. I really can't breathe up in this joint, but we gonna get through this, you know what I mean? We gotta do it better. We gotta do it better. And I'm setting, look, my veins is up, wrist out. I'm giving y'all all I got. Who gonna match me? Am I that intimidated? I'm not trying to be. This is literally just who I am, despite what people think, including my sibling. I don't know how many times she like, Niche, really? I feel like I know, like, I don't know who you, like, really, you not like the, like, what do you think I am out these streets? It's so, it can be hurtful to be misunderstood by your own sibling. Like, she really just thought I was a flaming whore out here. Just, I'm like, listen, just like every young girl, I had needs too. Unfortunately for me, but fortunately for you, you were our father's golden child. He didn't treat me the way he treated you. I didn't have a fighting chance. I didn't have to mess up in order to get teeth out of that man. For whatever reason, he just seemed to want to baby you and, love you up in a different way than me. And I know to a certain degree, I'm a parent. Sometimes we love our children, but sometimes the love that this one needs may differ from that. Astrologically, children can show up differently. Some kids are more independent emotionally. Some kids are less independent. And you got to know this. I get that. But what he did, no. That ain't that. I'm just simply calling it out. Because I want to see better. He can do better. I don't believe in that can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's bull crap. Because I'm teaching myself new tricks. What? Am I some type of android? Am I AI? My name is Larissa. Like, come on now, stop. You keep telling yourself that stupidness and you're going to believe it. Our brains were made to never stop learning. Imagine that. The problem is we stagnate ourselves. We limit ourselves. And how do you think that happens? Planted fear. Control. Come on now. Y'all gotta see this. Share this video. It could save somebody. You never know. You need people to look in the mirror past vanity. You know what I mean?
Relational aggression as well. It's horrendous, right?
Yes, it is.
It's bad. It's not good. And Bella Singleton says they always play the victim. 100%.
Oh my.
100%. You're doing something wrong. You're not the victim here.
Yes,
maybe you do need to be ousted. Maybe you need to be corrected. Maybe you did do something wrong, right?
Yep.
But it's easier to engage in relational aggression. The divide and conquer personality may feel that it's easier to be relationally aggressive than it is to just say, okay, I made a mistake. I was inappropriate. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I messed up. I turned against my mother. I shouldn't have talked to my sister that way. Maybe I shouldn't have did that in that relationship. Maybe I was disrespectful there. Maybe I was trying to act more important than I was. Maybe I did step on some toes. Maybe I did act rude. Right. Maybe I need to apologize. Maybe instead of doing that,
exactly.
They take it as a narcissistic injury.
Narcissistic injury is real. You understand what I'm saying? And even if you're dealing with a narcissist, don't be scared. Don't do that. We got to stop giving our power away to these people. And the only way you can do that is tapping into self. Fix all the wounds you got that's got you showing up like a coward, showing up with fear, showing up trying to stay safe, showing up. Listen, you cannot excel. God did not create us to cower and hide behind the door over there. Let's not do that. God created us in his image. Well, man in his image. We the rib. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We are not created to cower. Quit letting your family members train you to cower because they don't want to be called out. Stop giving the Trumps of the family all the power. We should let's come on. I know y'all can keep up when I said Trump and the way I use that man. Because you got all kind of people in the family, all kind of different talents there. We can all get together, harness one another's talents in a way that benefits the entire family. Not you manipulate that family member and you're going to use them a certain way and they don't even peep it because their mental health challenge they have causes them to not be able to see manipulation. So you're just going to be fantastic and do it anyway. And then you just going to say, oh, well, all manipulation isn't bad. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Someone gave me an example like that before. They said they use like a surprise party. You know, well, if I tell the person I'm throwing a surprise party for that the surprise is out, so I have to manipulate them a bit. Come on now. There's all kind of ways you can do that. You don't have to be manipulative. You could simply just say, I have a surprise I'm planning for you. I don't want to tell you today, but I just want to know how you feel about that. And see, that shows some intention right there. What if the person doesn't like surprises? And just because you value them, it's your love language, you're forcing it on someone else. That's disrespectful, my opinion. Because if I do that to you with something you don't like, but I say, well, I'm being nice because it's a surprise, but it's something that triggers you. Now it's different. Stop playing. We have to be more intentional and fair. People are doing things on survival mode brain and trying to make it like it's appropriate. What you still surviving? You out in these streets surviving still. And you forcing your survival mode living on me. I'm living and thriving. I ain't out here surviving. That turns on and off like it's supposed to. Got your brain on survival mode, your anxiety running, you're getting anxiety disorders, you're all sick. This is what happened to me. Mindlessly, though. But you got people out there that know what they're doing. And they're like intentionally causing themselves to get sick because of someone else. And then you got some people that's trapped. Might be in a situation where they don't have no money or nothing. But for me, I'd have to take a step on faith on that one. I ain't too proud to beg, but I will live in the park before I sit and just be a victim. I'm just saying. All this nice little stuff I wear. First of all, I don't do all that expensive name brand. I ain't gonna call it a name or anything. I don't chase labels and, oh, that's Prada, that's Gucci. Yeah, it's nice, it's cute and all, but they're there. I'll chuck that stuff in a minute for my sanity. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't none of this worth my sanity. This is vanity. And I ain't insane to keep it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes for my mental health to thrive. And that's how we all need to be. Hungry for our health. Because health is the real wealth. What does it matter that you just made $1 million if your kidney failing? What does it matter that you just invented a new app and you just got crazy rich? You a billionaire. But you've been smoking crack since you've been 13 and now you're slowly dying. Where your billions gonna go? Like, I'm gonna need you to get your priorities straight. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people out here that's doing this, dividing and conquering. And this is happening in my family. I'm hearing all kind of stuff about me. And I don't gossip. I wonder. And I get curious and I ask questions. But I'm being gossiped. Who am I, Beyonce? Why am I being gossiped when I'm a phone call away? What's that about? What's that? Let's address each other with dignity and respect. But then how can you request that from someone that's disrespectful? You can't get respect from disrespect. My opinion. So then now you got to do it a little differently. Because that's what I used to try to do. I was trying to get respect from disrespect. But then I didn't even know how I was showing up. So I was playing myself. Mindlessly. And this is why one of my siblings was telling me. She feel like I walk on eggshells. You're a pushover. She was telling me some gold about myself. I literally just was ignorant to what the words meant. I really was. Like as an ADHDer, and I was a child with it. I grew up masking. I would morph into different type of personalities that fit in and got me approval or got me liked or accepted. And I did it so much, I lost who I was in it. And I did this through my family. And I normalized them calling me names. I normalized all kind of sinister stuff. I just didn't know it was sinister. They left that part out. I had to learn to research. I had to learn to challenge my knowledge. I had to learn to challenge my mindset. And once I did that, I broke my own damn heart. I was like, I'm a nut out in these streets. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Like, when I tell y'all the shame can be real, that is not a lie. Talk about shame. I was ashamed by the time I unmasked myself. Woo-wee. You can never know. Oh, man. You can never know the damage that you do to your own self, your own self-esteem until you unveil all the masks you've been wearing to fit in. And it's so hurtful, especially when it's family that do it. But then I had to give them a little bit. Because really, some family are just surviving off of you. They're doing it because they got to. Because they ain't never fixed their stuff. So they just using different people. It's a chess game. It's a chess match. You're a pawn. Been playing chess with you because you don't know who you are yet. And that was me. That was me. Until now, I'm not angry though about certain things I used to be angry about. Cause I have clarity now. Now I'm just motivated, and I'm intense, and I'm serious. I'm bothered because people are reaching out to my brother and causing him stress, and it seems to be about me, and I don't understand that. So why are you reaching out to him? He ain't my daddy. Why are you not reaching out to me? I only blocked my father. Everybody else should be able to have my number or at least reach out to me on social media. I'm not on this joint lying on people. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling my story. It's my testimony. You can't take that from me. Can you? Can I have something? Like, come on. I'm trying to use this social media for good. It's not like I didn't put the camera on. I'm turning around with some thongs making it clap. I could be doing that. Lord knows we got enough of cheeks on here. Even though I'm sure quite a couple people wouldn't mind seeing my cheeks. But that's not the point. We're not about to do that. We got enough cheeks showing. You know what I'm saying? We need to get our minds right. Kids is watching this shit show. I'm not impressed. Like, we gotta get it better. We got to do better. And the first place you check is your mindset. What channel you tuned into? What channel are you on? Challenge your mindset. Let's give these babies a fighting chance. It's really just getting worse before it gets better, but we shedding out this old world and we rising. The ones that's supposed to rise is rising for the new world. And for me, I'm going to bring the ones that's loyal with me. Shout out to EB. Shout out to CD. Shout out to Kibba. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring those people, the loyal ones, I'm going to bring them with me. As I rise, they will too. Because that's what it's about. You're not supposed to be in this joint manipulating, using people, harnessing their gifts without their permission. Because you still on survival mode. Realize you're on survival mode and just simply choose to get off of it. Quit with the overthinking. Quit with the procrastination. Quit with the blaming. I hold myself accountable. You must too. In order for change to happen, someone has to be wrong. If no one is willing to be wrong, then how are we going to do this? We got to stop badgering the witness, though. Accountability is not about bashing and shaming. You got to get understanding. Once you understand people's mindset, how their brain works, then we can get work done. But it's too much ignorance running around here. And it's a lot of 30-year-old, 14-year-olds. It's a lot of 40-year-old, 12-year-olds, if you following me. It's a lot of 50-year-old, 18-year-olds. That 40 is the new 20. No, the hell it ain't. 40 the new 40. I'll be 42 this year. Huh? That age that's my avatar's age. My soul is infinite. You know what I'm saying? Quit mixing up what really is supposed to matter. I'm going to shed this. And then I'm going to go where I must at the end. We have to do it right. We're going to do a few more minutes on this before I go.
And they take it as, excuse me, how dare you try to correct me, right? And then they run away and they become relationally aggressive, and it turns into a battle rather than an educational lesson. And so then they play the victim, the emotions get big and dramatic, and everything turns into an ugly thing. Now, let me also share this. This is another form of relational aggression when it comes to divide and conquer personalities. But here's what happens to these kind of personalities. They insert themselves in matters where they shouldn't be.
Yeah. Right.
And this is bad because these kind of individuals have an issue that is a personality pathology. I'll put it this way. It's a personality pathology.
Right. Educate yourself on
So
that.
A personality pathology. They're narcissistic most of the time. They're cold, callous, and unemotional.
It'd be that part.
Or they get pleasure out of being a complete menace to society.
It'd be that part.
I'm going to pick on you. I'm going to create an uncomfortable environment. I'm going to, make things uncomfortable for you. If I can't be a part of something, I'm going to make it uncomfortable for others. I'm going to make myself a problem. I'm going to be a nuisance. I'm going to make you, feel uncomfortable in your environment if I can't be in it as well. Machiavellian personalities, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So there's a personality pathology with these individuals. Here's what they do. Instead of openly communicating, they insert themselves into problems. They get a kick out of it. They love it. It gives them energy.
Yep.
So these kind of individuals, number one, this is what the research says. Number one, they relay messages. Have you seen these kind of divide and conquer personalities?
Yep.
Mom said,
yep.
Fill in the blanks.
Yep.
Kelly said, fill in the blanks.
Yep.
They're called relay messages. So relay messages. I'm going to put these in here.
Couple family members that do that.
So these are divide and conquer personalities. So wait. Divide and conquer personalities.
Gotta do better, folks.
If I can spell right. Personalities.
Gotta do better.
Okay, so relay messages. Mom said, and then they fill in the messages. Dad said,
yep.
Right? Kelly said, how is that problematic? Because they're not being specific. They can fill in the blanks. And when they fill in the blanks are not going to be what was actually said. It's going to be something completely different, right. Which does what? Change the tune of the message. Right. And that is how they divide and conquer. The message is skewed.
Yeah.
That is often a sign of a personality pathology. The message is not going to be what Mom said. The message is not going to be what Kelly said. The message is not going to be what Tim said. The message is not going to be what Justin said. The message is going to be half of what Justin has said, and about 55% of what the divide and conquer personality wants the message to mean. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, this has happened to me too. I would rely on my younger siblings because I didn't, like I said, I told y'all, I had cognitive challenges. And them being abused the way I was, it didn't help. So I often would rely on my younger siblings' cognitive abilities. And I'd go to her for moral support. I'd go to her to ask about jobs. She was more successful than I was as far as getting employed. She got jobs when she was a teenager. She got her first car as a teenager. I wasn't there yet. But I didn't know I was enabled at the time either. And I was severely abused and molested and a lot of different problems. So I wound up being more codependent, and I didn't believe in myself because I had a circle of certain people that were keeping me less than, invalidating me. So it was like a type of way that they were trying to come off like they were helping, but really it was control of me in certain ways. And keeping me from putting up certain boundaries so they can have access. You got to be able to pay attention to that. There's certain family members out here that are living off of you for whatever reason. Maybe you're thriving. Maybe you have what they wish they had. And they be damned if they ain't going to have it. They going to use your black ass because they can't do it for whatever reason. And you are open. Maybe you have a dad wound. Maybe you have a childhood trauma wound, and they're going to exploit that real quick at your disadvantage. It's a very ugly world out here. And sometimes victims are created right under the family tree. But I'm going to end here. I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back and we're going to finish this because I'm having more trouble with my breathing at the moment. So I'm going to wish you well. Share this video, y'all, because I'm sure people could use this help out there. Because people will lie in your damn face. Oh, they will lie in your face. They will lie in your face. So let the truth be told. And this has been, I'm the creative one. And you ain't heard the last of me. Over and out, y'all.